JCPenney hired Ron Johnson, the man behind Apple's groundbreaking retail stores. The end result? The company lost nearly $1 billion in 1 year. Yahoo brought in Marissa Mayer, a celebrated Google executive, in 2012. Her reign ended with Yahoo's sale to Verizon in 2017 for a fraction of the valuation. Kolovitz, a legendary Hollywood talent agent, becomes Disney's president in 1995. His tenure lasted just 14 months and costed Disney $140 million in severance pay, making this one of the most expensive corporate exits ever. Jill Barrett, the star performer who revolutionized Barbie, took over as CEO in 1997. By the year 2000, Mattel had lost about $2.5 billion in market value. Barrett was out. Carly Fiorina, who rose to fame at Lucent, joined HP as a CEO in 1999, led it up to 2005. Her bold strategies and leadership style didn't fit in with the merged culture, and ultimately she was out. Myth one is that star CEOs drives big results. Now, great companies produce CEOs who go on to become popular and be recognized as great leaders. It's not the other way around. CEOs don't make companies. Companies deliver great CEOs. Many a time, entrepreneurs reach a certain level and then they want to hire and delegate their duties to a professional CEO and they start chasing CVs of companies that are better than them or companies that they idealize. In my experience, entrepreneurs seek this as a validation exercise. Can they attract talent from the best of the companies? And in that seeking of validation or validating their own journeys, they make the biggest blunder of chasing star performers and star CEOs. What an entrepreneur or what a company needs after a certain point in time is a CEO or a leader who will lead with the same passion, love, and care as you did, which got you from a point A to a point B. Now, to go from a point B to C, D, and E, you need leadership, you need hands, but you need hands who are equally passionate and determined to lead with love and care that you did. And often in star performers, these are not the qualities because they're far too aggressive or they're far too self-absorbed to be worried about what's the right thing to do. There are plenty of examples. You've seen some of them. Don't make the mistake of chasing stars. Chase people who will serve the way you served your company. Myth two is the superstar fascination. Entrepreneurs are often obsessed by these star performers who deliver great results. But what they fail to recognize is that great teams produce great performers. And great performers, when given the charge of mediocre teams, often do not rise up to potential. Consider Cristiano Ronaldo's return to Manchester United. Ronaldo, one of the greatest footballers in history, was expected to revive the team's glory, but despite his exceptional skills and talent and whatnot, it didn't produce the same results. Why? Because the team culture, the environment, the great team was not in place to embrace a player like Ronaldo. Similar for your business. The duty or the intent has to be able to create great teams first, and stars will naturally emerge. It doesn't take a star to create a great team, but great teams invariably will produce superstars for you. Myth three, we must maximize shareholder value. There is a very thin line between great intent and foolish direction of events. Now, the job of a CEO or job of any entrepreneur is not to maximize shareholder value. The shareholder value or market capitalization is a result of doing certain things which delivers that particular outcome. But far too many people, and especially entrepreneurs, and then delegated duties to a professional CEO, start chasing the maximization of shareholder value because the bosses remain happy or whatever the board dynamics are, they tend to play to the gallery. But here's the thing, and I've done a great deal of research and published books on this. The model exists in one of the books that I published. When your primary strategic intent is to maximize shareholder value, there is empirical data to prove that that results in negative innovations for everybody and actually erodes the particular value that you were actually chasing. That's not the intent that maximizes gains for the company. Interestingly, what maximizes shareholder value as an outcome is the objective within a company, which is to solve unsolved problems. Now, if you do that, and this sounds very logical and common sense that if you do that, you're solving a problem that no one's solving, you're automatically going to get market share, and as a result of which, your market valuations will go up. But the mistake people make is that they start chasing the wrong goal that directs the innovation or creativity or thinking within a company to come up with tricks and ideas and all sorts of short-term benefits, which really doesn't stay true or stand them in a good stead in the long or the medium term at all. And look, there are plenty of examples. Enron, Anderson, Lehman Brothers, they all sunk in chasing this primary objective of just to make money or the shareholders' intent. The end result, these companies don't exist anymore. They were on the path to greatness. They had done all things right. There was a substantial scale out there. There was a considerable number of leaders working there. But what went wrong? What went wrong was the management's insistence to chase shareholder value as their primary goal. That sunk these companies. Well, myth 4 is an entrepreneur's love affair with hustle. Yes, it got you entrepreneurial success, but when you look at scale, scale is a strategic growth path. Now imagine if your way is hustle and it has to be scaled across 3,000 employees. It can't happen, can it, right? You can't expect 3,000 entrepreneurs working for you and all working at the same speed and hustle that you've built this company with. You will constantly be left irritated and sad and disappointed because it's not going to happen. You need a strategy that works despite the hustle, and scale is strategic success. It's about simplifying strategy down to a level that idiots can execute. And that's really what it is, simplifying strategy and innovation down to a level that you don't need great hustle to be executed. Take a look at Howard Schultz from Starbucks. It's a powerful example. When he first started, he was legendary at hustle. He would visit the cafes, do everything, micromanage everything, show that he's the boss, inspire everyone at the shop floor, hustle around, get it going, deliver the profits, deliver a great experience, everything. But that wasn't scalable, and he realized that. And the shift from a hustler to a strategist to a leader to a great leader is what enables Starbucks to be in 30,000 stores. Hustle was needed to establish a brand, but that hustle was not needed to create 30,000 stores. You needed a system, you needed a strategy, you needed a scale, you needed leaders, and you needed to bring it down to a point of no-brainer that good people can actually execute without having to hustle. If everyone was a hustler, everyone would be an entrepreneur and they wouldn't be seeking jobs with you. Myth 5 is that growth comes from big, bold moves. Entrepreneurs, after a certain time, feel that they need huge initiatives or massive acquisitions or drastic rebranding or some best practices adoption to grow to the next level. I've personally seen many businesses chase what we call the big company syndrome, which is start doing things that the big players do and we'll automatically become big. So they hire all sorts of consultants. They would go to the big fours to make their strategies or make their value documents or to make their hiring procedures or HR manuals and whatnot. I've seen them waste money. I've seen them waste time. I've seen them sink from actually where they were on a path of success to go down very quickly into a very stagnant growth. Why? Because it doesn't work. Success doesn't need big moves and bold moves. It needs simple innovations. You actually need the very basic thing which businesses forget after a while. You need to solve problems and you need to continuously solve them in a manner that no one else is. And that's it. That's strategic innovation. That's what you need for success. Look at Uber and look at Airbnb. There weren't any big moves there. There was no big tech involved there. There were simple problems being solved for simple people and it built billion-dollar businesses. And success or skill doesn't need big, bold moves. They actually need common sense problems to be solved continuously, better than anybody else. Don't chase what you think big companies do, because big companies by themselves also don't benefit from the things that you think they're benefiting from. It's just someone taking a bad decision. You don't need to emulate it thinking that it was the right one. You know your situation, you know your company. All you need to do is figure out the next problem to solve it more effectively than anyone else, and that's the path. My sixth myth is I can figure it out alone. Please do not go and become the chief every decision-making officer. It works to a certain extent because you needed to be in control of your business and take it to a certain level, but after a certain time, it becomes the number one reason for a company's demise. Look at WeWork under Andy Newman. As a CEO, Newman made decisions on everything. And it ultimately led to a failed IPO in 2019. There are many examples. It doesn't work. Yes, as a decision maker, you want to be in control. It's your child, it's your love affair. You want to see this thing succeed. But at the end of it, you're looking at a scale. At the end of it, you're looking at expansion, and you yourself are not scalable to that level, right? So, what do you need to do? Entrepreneurs need to learn how to delegate decision making. Decision making expansion within your organization is going to create scale. So, when we talk about expansion and when we talk about scale, at a behavioral minute level, what are you really talking about? The scale will get created when you're able to expand the decision making bandwidth in the right direction. Think about it. Stars may shine brightly, but without the right team and culture and systems, their brilliance cannot last. Businesses succeed not because of individual talent, but because of the collective strength of the individual talent. Hustle is great, strategy is even better. Simple innovations will outperform your crazy risk taking. Doing it alone is a burnout. Make some friends, trust them, and give them the right ecosystem, and they will perform for you. Remember, great teams produce great performers, but even the best of performers can never save a mediocre team. Cheers.